Okay, so this is what I've decided to do here with. So this is the Slacker Tour. This is my, if you're familiar with the PGA Tour, this is kind of like the web.com of the TGT, the Tenacious Golf Tour. So my name is Tenacious Earl. And this is the Tabletop Baseball Plus channel, and I'm going to play out the final. So the leaders have 5 holes to play, and so we're going to play out the rest of those and see who's going to win. So we still have 2 previous champions. We played 3 tournaments. The winner of the first tournament, Luciano Ware, I think he was a cut casualty. The second winner, Bob Demelmeyer, the winner of the second tournament, the Don't Mess with Texas Open. He is 3 strokes behind in 4th place. Behind the leaders, Jeremiah James and Dustin Jimenez. So Jimenez started the day 2 behind Mackay Berry, who is the winner of the most recent tournament, the Bayou Open. But Mackay Berry, he tried to go back to back, but he has faltered here in this tournament. He's 4 back, although he does have a bit of a treasure trove of blue chips that he might be able to use. So, but Jimenez, he opened with a 32 on the par on the front 9 of par 36. He has lost a couple strokes since then, but did get a birdie on the most recent hole, the 14th, to pull him back into that tie with James. So James started 2 back as well of Berry, and so him and Dustin Jimenez, even though they're in different groups, they have kind of climbed the leaderboard together as Berry faltered. One thing that's hurt Berry in this round is that his irons are listed as utility, and that has cost him some chances down the way here. So, so the first group is on 17. So let's get right there. Now we've got some guys that are out of contention. So I'm hoping to get this in within an hour. So I'm hoping this kind of feels like a TV broadcast the way it used to be, which is kind of like a little old school. And I do things a little differently as far as when I've been doing the Slacker Tour lately. I've been trying to use this, and I get everybody to the green, and then I putt them out. Unless we get a white 6 roll, which means an automatic par, then I don't worry about that. But I do try to get everybody to the green first and then putt it out. And it's the order of play is gimmies go first, and then it's from the least likely to be made in as far as like distance goes. And then finally clutch. So it's kind of like a match play. So, all right, so I use these to mark which cards are in which order, and so what goes down here. And so it's going to be the group of Boyd Yeager, Mateo Soto, and Michael Graham. Now, Yeager and Graham are both. It'd be funny if there was a guy with the last name Meister, because then you could have Yeager and Meister in the same group. But in any event, Yeager and Graham are both out of contention. Soto birdied the last hole, so he will go first. Lavender for me is first. Yellow is second, and that will be Graham and then Yeager because he had a bogey on the 14th. So 17th hole, daunting or semi-daunting par 3. It's an island hole, lots of danger. There are some chills and spills that can come along the way here, so let's see what happens. So, but it will be Mateo Soto first to play here on the 17th. Probably the best he could get to is 3 back. Let's see. So if you look at 16 here, that is in the drink, but it has a... So what you do is you take this. So you see that the white die first, you read it as 5. If it's in this list here, and first let me turn this a little bit so you can see. If it's in this list, which it is, 5 is in this list, you look up, you go with you take the ascending order of the black, and in this case, brown. They give you silver in the set. So you take them in ascending order, so 16, and you look at 16 here, and it's got a water droplet, but it has, which means it's in the water, but it has a little asterisk. And what that asterisk says is if his irons are better, then he ends up on the green. He's able to clear that water. So hero, champion, or laser. So is Mateo Soto any of those? Hero, champion, or laser? Let's see. Trying to get this to there you go. He is not. He knocks it in the water, and this is going to pretty much conclude his any thought that maybe he could try and climb back into this. So now we take the green die. So then what happens is the green die, you look at the par 3 chart for water, and it's on the first shot is tee shot, and then a 2. So is Mateo Soto sunny? In fact, he is. He gained the sunny attribute early on, so he gets a good shot in there, so he leaves himself a gimme for bogey. So we'll put his lavender gimme bogey, but that's going to drop him a shot. He'll have to roll 3. We'll roll 3 D6s for him, and he has to just make sure he doesn't hit all 6s, which is, we've seen not automatic before, but it should be. So Michael Graham, oh wait, no, he is out of contention. So with a semi-daunting hole, we just roll 1, and that's going to be a par for Graham. And for Jaeger, it's a 6, and that's going to be a bogey for him. So then what we have to do is we have to roll the gimme bogey, which is 3 dice for Mateo Soto. And that's going to leave him 6 back. So a bogey, 2 bogeys in this group. 1 because Soto knocked it in the drink, and he'll head to the 18th licking his wounds. Okay, so we will go back to the 16th now, and this is going to be C.J. Hope, Rogelio Ryan, and Bob Demelmeyer. We mentioned Demelmeyer before, previous winner here on tour. He is actually, he just bogeyed the last hole, so he is at 2 under on his round. He's 3 back. He was 2 behind the leaders, but so he'll be last with the bogey, and then we just have to figure out which. It'll be Rogelio Ryan first, and he's out of contention. C.J. Hope's out of contention. So this is a cordial hole. Cordial 2 will be a birdie for Ryan on the 16th, and then C.J. Hope. A 3 on a cordial hole will be a par. And now we'll get to Bob Demelmeyer and see if he can try and cut into this 3-shot lead from James and Jimenez. But it's a 6 and par 5. He'd like to think of this as a, but he doesn't have any blue chips. See, it's really tough to push this. He could take a blue chip and try to use it on 17 to stay out of the water. 4th place isn't bad for him. He's gonna play it safe. He's gonna take a par. It's not double cordial, or else he would get a birdie. But he's gonna take his par and get out of there. So, okay, so to 15, and now the second to last group. We're doing threesomes here if you haven't already figured it out. It's one of the leaders, Dustin Jimenez, John Mulkers, and Sonny Lemons. So Mulkers, he is actually 2 under par on his round. He 3 birdies and a bogey on the front, and he's had all pars. Lemons has also had all pars, but he's just staying in an even par clip right now. But Jimenez birdied the last to get back into a tie. He'd been flummoxing a bit. Bogeyed 11 and 13 to go back a stroke of James, but then he birdied 14, so he's right there. And now I got to figure out, so it's going to be Mulkers before Lemons. All right. Sonny Lemons, his slogan is, if you can't make Sonny Lemons, make some Sonny Lemonade out of it. I don't know. Maybe not. All right, so this is a daunting hole here. You got to try and stay out of some trouble. 13. Well, he's going to find himself in the rough, but he does have a green 1. So if you've got green 1s, when you go to these hazard rolls, you've got a pretty decent shot of at least a par, and maybe you can sneak a birdie out of it. Or, heck, you never know. There's some strange... So, is This is Jimenez. Is he a workman? He is not. So we're going to have a wow. He's going to get back. He started with 6 blue chips and he's used them all, but he is tied for the lead. But now he's got a wow roll, so he could have a chance here at a birdie. A 1 would give him a chance at an eagle. It's a 4, so, but that'll leave him an easy putt for birdie. No caution sign there, so we'll put that on here. Easy birdie putt. And he could use the blue chip to improve his chances there to get to a gimme. We'll see if he does that or not. All right, now Mulkers with 2 blue chips. But I'll tell you what, Jimenez getting a birdie on this hole would be a real get for him because this is not an easy hole. So 14, also in the rough, but you'll see here that a 3 is not going to be as good on that green die. So first shot rough, 3, is he a workman? No, he's not. Mulkers isn't, but instead he's going to end up with an easy second putt for par. So instead of getting, if you got the green 1, you get a wow, which gives you a chance at a birdie. If you don't, if you get less than that, then you end up with probably a par. Maybe you're going to be scraping for bogey. But where was I? 3, yeah, I started talking, and that's not always it's not always good for my focus. All right, so now Sonny Lemons, he is going to shed his red chip here. He figures he might as well give it to him. Get rid of it now. So let's see what he can do here. And that's a 14. He'll also be in the rough. This time with a 4. It kind of gets progressively worse. He's also not a workman, but he'll end up with a moderate second putt for par. So it's like every one you get's a little worse. Now, what we need to do here is we start looking at Jimenez, but he's going to play his blue chip, which will move him to 6-6 miss. So well, now it's a gimme. So we do actually go with him first. So you roll his 6-6 miss. Gimmes are first, and he makes it. So Jimenez will take sole possession of the lead with a birdie on 15 back-to-back birdies for him, and he leapfrogs Jeremiah James in the process. And he's got 3 holes left to play. So he doesn't have any blue chips left, but you can use the blue chip you earn on a hole on the same hole. A red chip you cannot. So now you've got we take off the purples, well, the lavenders. Now we've got the moderate putt for Sonny Lemons first. So he'll be first, looking to stay 4 back. Wait a second. I got to move everybody back. So Soto is actually, we're going to move him. Mateo Soto is going to be out of contention now, and I got to move everybody back. So now those guys are all 5 shots back. Demmelmeyer is 4. Mulkers is 3. So I almost forgot to do that. So yeah, so we're with Lemons. He needs to make this to stay 5 back. So Lemons 1 to 5, and he does par it. So he will remain 5 back of the leaders, or the leader. It's not leaders anymore. And now Mulkers with a 6-6 miss, and he makes it. So he gets his par. We'll go to 14. Hey, we do have a comment here. Let me bring it up So honors go to Jeremiah James first. Finds himself 1 back here, going to a semi-cordial hole, so maybe a chance to regain that shared lead. And then you've got Mackay Berry, who has had a rough day. Porter Davies hasn't had much better of a day. So, okay, so James, here it is. So on the 14th, hey, Mr. Moley. So we're finishing up this tournament here. We're on the 14th, and 2-3-5 off of James' card on a par 4. So let's see, 2-3-5. Is he a legend or a shaper? No, he is not. Is he a champion? Semi-champion, but does not have the decider die. So we go to right now, and right now James is neutral. So Now I think cold is on the odds, so I think that will help him because he's got a 3. So par 4, 3. Yes. Is he cold? No. He'll have an easy putt for birdie with a blue chip to use, so you can bet he'll be using that to try to regain a share of this lead. So Mackay Berry in that group at 5, along with Davies, the playing partner. Hi, Alan. So this is like web.com. This is guys trying to get onto the TGT next year. And so it'll be 355 off of Mackay Berry's card on the par 4. 355. Is he a king? Semi-king, but doesn't have the dot, so that's not going to be helpful. Not a hacker, so we go to experience, and he's semi-prospect, so and we have to re-roll this because I think it will check prospect, so, and he is, so Mackay Berry is having a rough go of it here. A 5 prospect, yes, double difficult putt for par. Now, I'm also using my modified lag rule here, so we'll see how that goes. It's been okay, but there's been a couple of things that have been tough. So, Porter Davies now. Well, this is going to be off the card, the whole card, and it's going to be 12, which is bunker with the approach, and the bunker shot is going to result in a putt that is one more difficult. So, par 4, second shot, 3, chunky. Is he chunky out of the sand? And no, he's not. So he will have a gimme, but not a gimme. It'll be an easy putt for par, so not so bad there for Porter. So again, we go with the guy with the least chance of making it. And that's going to be Mackay Berry. So here is my custom lag rule. I'm going to put it up here. I put a picture on Facebook. So if you want to pause it, basically if you don't get double ones or double sixes, it's just the same old lag rule. You miss the putt. You would normally go from, let's say in this case this is a double difficult par, you'd end up with a difficult bogey. Well, because the lag rule says this subsequent putt you drop 2 levels of difficulty, so it becomes an easy bogey from a double difficult par. So anything other than double ones or double sixes, that's what you do. If you get double ones, if you you roll the decider die with it, if it's yes, it's in the hole, made it. It's like a lag that you just got it just right. Sometimes it happens. That's kind of why I'm doing this, because I feel like that's a little closer to reality. I'm also trying this and incorporating this because I feel like it's more like reality. It takes longer, but I also kind of like that feeling. So now with a difficult putt, if you try to do that, I'm saying, so I'm saying even just the 1-1 you could make with that. And double difficult, if you get 1-1, but then it's not a dot, then you just get a gimme par putt or gimme putt subsequent. Double sixes with a no dot, you go from double difficult to moderate, so you only progress 1. And then if you get the dot and the 6-6, you basically just get what you would have gotten on a normal putt. So more or less what it's intended to do is create a little more drama, but I'm thinking that I may be penalizing with that 6-6 roll a little bit. So I might just say anytime you roll 6-6, you get 1 degree of difficulty easier, but not 2. Or you get some benefit, but not much. So anyway, let's see what Jeremiah James, no, it's not Jeremiah James, Mackay Berry, he's going to lag it here. Let's see what happens. And it's just going to be a normal lag, so he's going to end up, he misses his putt, but he leaves it where it's an easy bogey putt. So now we've got Jeremiah James with an easy birdie and a blue chip, which he'll use to make gimme birdie. Now he just needs to avoid the double sixes, and he does. So there he regains a share of this lead. So James, 2 under on the back, and actually 4 under on the round, putting together a nice round, just like Jimenez has. And they are both 3 ahead of Mulkers and 4 of Demelmeyer. So now we can take this off. We go to the next highest odds, which is going to be the easy par putt for Porter Davies. That is in. And now Mackay Berry for his bogey. Same roll. And double fours, but that doesn't get you anything. Okay. So we are coming up on the 18th hole for the first group, and all of those guys are now out of contention. So this will be a quick turn of events here. So it'll be Soto last, Jaeger second last, and Graham first. So let's roll it off. Graham first, 18th hole. This is a normal hole, 3, so that will be a par. So for Graham, he actually shoots 35 on the back. 1 under par, so 74 on his round. That's 2 over. And you add that in there, that's a 285 minus 3, so not so good for Michael Graham. My math is wrong here somewhere. 74. Maybe not. No, he started 7 and then was 2 over. Yep, okay, never mind. Wait. Hold on. Right. That's right. He is minus 3. That's right. Okay. I think we're in the right spot here. So anyway, that's fine. Minus 3. So I've been trying to so let's see. So Mackay Berry was 206. And he is what? Plus, so 206 is 10. Plus 3 is 7. He's 7 under par. So that means James started at 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I'm not sure I've got my numbers right here, guys, but that's okay. It'll all add up in the end here. I may have to re-verify it here in a second. So that's a par for, who is that? Jaeger. 1 over 37. 76 for him. He started at 210, correct? So that's 286. That's a minus 2. All right. And then we got Soto here. And a 6 for him on a normal hole. He's going to finish with a bogey. His back 9 didn't go so well. So 1 over even. 1, 2, 38 and 36. 74 for him as well. 284 minus 4. Okay, before I go any further, I want to figure out where each of these guys is right now. So just bear with me. So I just want to be sure I've got the scoreboard here right. So I don't care about Hope Ryan. Demelmeyer, though, 1 under, 2 under, 3 under, 2 under. So he's 2 under, and he started at minus 6. So that means he's at minus 8. Okay. Jimenez, 4 under, 3, 2, 3, 4 under. And Jimenez started at 8 under, minus 12. Okay. Mulker's 1 even, 1, 2, and he's at 2 under. And he was at 7, so minus 9. He should be 3 back. He is. Lemons 1 even, and he is at even par. Lemon started at 7 under. He should be 5 back, and he is. Mackay Berry, woeful start for him. 4 under, 4 over through 5 holes. So 4 over, 3 over, and that's where he's hung out. 3 over, Start at minus 10, so minus 7 for him. That should put him 5 back, and it does. Porter Davies, up and down, 1 under even, 1 under even, 1 over even, 1 over, 2 over, 3 over for him. Started the day at minus 9. That's minus 6. He should be 6 shots back, so actually we need to move him. I think that was where that's where I was worried that I was goofing up. Okay, and then Jeremiah James, I want to make sure that he's in the right spot too. So he started at 8 under, 9 under, 10 under, 11 under, 12 under, 13 under? Is that right? No. He started at 8 under, 9 under, 10 under, 11 under, 10 under, 12 under. Yes, so he is tied. Okay. So the guys that are off the charts, it's not going to make a difference with. So we're in good shape now. Apologies for the delay, but we're making sure that and so Demmelmeyer is 4 back. Yes, we're just making sure that we're giving you the right info. All right. So who will be first? Rogelio Ryan, then CJ Hope, and then Demmelmeyer. So we will roll so semi-daunting for Ryan, and it'll be a par on this par 3. It'll be nice when we play off these holes, because there are some interesting holes here. That's a par for CJ Hope. And now we get the Demmelmeyer, so we will get to see this hole. Par 3, again, we did see this before, but we were having a lot of guys that are playing out of contention. So here we go with Bob Demmelmeyer. He's 4 back. If he could get a couple birdies, that would potentially get him at least closer, and he's going to end up... Well, what he can do is actually, because this is a par 3, he can see if attacking the green makes any sense for him. A 2, that would give him a difficult putt for birdie. He's got a blue chip that he could burn to make it moderate, which is still 1-2. Not great odds, but 4 back. He's got to let it roll here, I think. So he's going to take his difficult birdie off of the attack the green. And so now we're going to use his blue chip. He's going to make it moderate, 1-2. He needs a 1 or a 2. That would get him into a tie with Mulkers, 3 behind. That would be at minus 9. And he gets it in the hole. That blue chip is very lucrative for him. Gives him... it's actually the margin of him making that putt. And so he does move 1 stroke closer and gives himself maybe a chance at... If he could sneak in a birdie on 18, that would put him in at 10 under with a couple guys that you just never know on this course. You know, there's some water coming up here. So 16, we've got Jimenez, one of the leaders. And let's see, it'll be Jimenez first to go. And then Mulkers and Lemons. So we're going to take these guys off of here. So there we go. All right. So Dustin Jimenez tied for the lead, coming to 16. Big bunkers down the left. But it's a cordial hole. If you find the fairway, it can be good. 136. So it's going to be, it's only a 1 degree of course control. So 136. Is he Duffer or Scatter? No, he's not. Is he a hero? Yes. He will have an easy putt for birdie here, so let's put it down. Doesn't have any blue chips to use, but he's got a shot at it. So him and James here have been kind of duking it out lately, and now John Mulkers with 2 blue chips. If Jimenez still had some blue chips, he could make that, he could earn another one. He will. He'll take another blue chip here. And not press his luck. Mulkers will take a par on this par 5, even though it's, all he could do is attack the green, which For him, if he was he is well, if you re-roll that white die and you get a 5, it gives him a chance at an easy birdie. You know what? We were a little premature. Didn't really think through the strategy. Let's throw caution to the wind here. We're going to attack the green. So he's got a 6, and he has the decider die in his favor here. So he's going to attack the green. If he can get a 5 on this roll, he will end up with an easy birdie. Otherwise, it could be just about anything. It's a 1, so that's a moderate putt for birdie. That's sort of a consolation prize here. So a 1 isn't bad. 5 would have been better because it goes to a golfer check as opposed to just sort of a stock roll. But so he could actually use 2 chips here and make it gimme, and he may just do that. Although it's going to give him, he won't have a chance to grab control on 17 if he does that. But you gotta take a chance here somewhere. And Sonny Lemons, well, he's semi-master as well. He is going to go ahead and hope for this because he's 5 back. Can he get an easy birdie putt here? He doesn't have any blue chips, though. There is a 5. He is a semi-master with the dot. He will also have an easy birdie. So, all right, we've got some guys here with some chances. So I took a chance there with Mulkers, and so he is going to use both of his chips here. He's going to put the money on the table. All right, so Jimenez will be first with an easy birdie putt. He needs a 1 to 4. He would take sole possession of the lead if he can do it. And it is in the hole. Jimenez, 3 birdies in a row, and everybody moves back. And Porter Davies now is off of the charts. We'll keep him there just in case he somehow birdies and gets himself back to within 6. Okay, but Jimenez with some really solid putting here today. And now it'll be Sonny Lemons. He's got the same putt, 1 to 4. Other side of the hole, can he make this and he'll get back to 5? He does. And now the pressure on Mulkers to keep pace. He needs to avoid the 6-6 miss. He'd end up at 3 behind, and he makes it. So birdie's around here on the 16th. Mulkers goes back to with three back with 2 to play. Not great odds there, but he can hope that his playing partner starts faltering here. Okay, so it'll be let me see. I guess Mackay Berry, he was at -7. So now he's 6 back. So yeah, he's still there, and so Jeremiah James, who is going to try and get back to having a share of that lead, and then it'll be Porter Davies. We got to see if Davies can regain contention status here. Okay, so Jeremiah James is going to play a little bit of defense here. Take his par. Now it's going to be Mackay Berry. White 6 gives Jeremiah James a chance to have some capital down the road. And now a 5, 26 golf cam course. Semi-daunting with a dot. It's going to be daunting. So Mackay Berry has had nothing but bad luck, and then a 6 on a par 4. Is it a daunting hole? Yes. He needs a clutch putt for par to remain 6 back. He might be off the chart. So clutch par putt. And now we go to Porter Davies, who is 7 behind as of this point. Can he get anything? Now he's got to attack the green now. He absolutely does. He does have a blue chip that he could use to try and help if he gets the right roll. Par 4. Does he have any chance here? He really needs. The best he can do is a 1. He isn't a master. He's not a workman either, but a 1 gives him a moderate. A 2 would give him a difficult. If he gets anything higher than 5, he's okay. There's a 1. He's going to have a moderate birdie putt, so that's a 1 to 2 chance he will be the first to roll here. So, and he will spend his blue chip to make it 1 to 4. See if he can have the luck the other guys did. And it's a 4 right on the money. It's in, so he will birdie and get back to 6 behind. So that's -7. And now Mackay Berry, he needs he's a gold clutch putter. He needs this 1 to 5, and he gets it. So he'll earn another blue chip, but his blue chips have not done him much good here today. And he will get a par. Okay, so another group through, and what do we got here? We're at 36 minutes, so things continue to speed up a bit here. So Dustin Jimenez at -13, Jeremiah James -12, -10 John Mulkers, 3-back, 4-back Bob Demmelmeyer. And this is going to be the final group coming to 18. There is some water in play. Actually, not only on the tee shot, but also the approach. So it will be Demmelmeyer who birdied. It's funny, it seems like an age ago since he birdied the last hole. But so Rogelio Ryan would be next, and then Hope last. So Demmelmeyer will be first. See if he can squeak a birdie out here and get it in there at -10. And a 4. It's going to be hole controlled 23 in the sand next to the green. So greenside bunker 4 is Demmelmeyer chunky. I forgot to put that there. Is he chunky? No. So he will have a moderate par putt. And in this case, there's a little add-on rule that you can use, and I kind of like this. So in this last case, I'm going to actually do this where we move. Well, you know what? Because it's greenside bunker, we really can't do that. So if this was the kind of thing where it was a second putt, you're actually allowed to move that and make it a first putt that's sort of the commensurate further back. But because it's not a second putt, we can't do that. So he will have a moderate putt for par to get in the house at -9. Where we have these other 2 guys that are out of contention. A normal hole for Rogelio Ryan, that'll be a par. So he is in even 1 under par, 35 on the back. That's a 74. He started a 210, so that's a 284 -4. And that will be it for him. And CJ Hope, a 2 on a normal hole. That's another par. So +2, 38 on the back, 76. And he started at -7. So -7 and... Oh, wait. 285, that's a -3. So, Demmelmeyer will be next with his moderate par putt. Needs a 1 to 5, and he rims it out. Goes right around the lip, so now an easy bogey putt, and his day closes in a little bit of an unlucky fashion there. A bogey for him. Just couldn't get anything going on the back. He did have 3 birdies, but 2 bogeys offset that. A 35, 70 on the day, 2 under par, but add that to 210. That's 280. Not bad. -8. But he will finish 5 back. Well, -8. Right, currently 5 back of the leaders. So could have been better. A lot of guys were worse. Okay, so now we're back to 17. And now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. We're down to brass tacks here. We got Dustin Jimenez 3 birdies in a row for him. He's grabbed hold of that lead. Then you've got Mulkers and Lemons. Mulkers is 3 behind, Lemons 5 back. Lemons, he's probably not going to be able to get anything done here. But Jimenez, let's see what he does here. He doesn't have any blue chips to lay up, and there's water all around this hole. 3 layers of course control here. 3, 4, 5 on that white die. What's he going to get? And he gets a 6, which he will cherish. That is an easy, that's a tap-in par. He will remain at 13 under par. So he doesn't need to do anything else. A white 6 is such a big thing for a guy that's in the lead right now. Takes all the pressure off on a really tough hole with a lot of water. So John Mulkers now, same predicament. He gets a 5, 45, and he just misses the water on that 45. He's going to have golf cam course, semi-daunting. It's going to be daunting because of the dot. So this is probably going to be trouble for him. 4 on a par 3. Is it a daunting hole? It is. He needs a clutch putt to remain at -10. Clutch par putt. Now Sonny Lemons 5 back. See if he can avoid the drink. So course control 45. Oh boy, same black and brown rolls there. So he'll have a little bit better chance maybe. No daunting and a 2 par 3. So cordial no, daunting no. He'll have an easy putt for par. So you see how that works out there. One guy gets that green die is actually, it comes across as being kind of inconsequential. It really makes a ton of difference. All right, so the easy par putt for Lemons to remain tied with Demmelmeyer at -8, and he makes it. So Lemons at -1 on his round today. Now we've got the clutch par putt for John Mulkers. He is a 1-3 normal clutch putter. He doesn't have any blue chips to use, and he misses. Misses badly, almost like the yips there. So he'll end up with an easy bogey putt. He's going to drop a shot to -9. Unless he misses, and he doesn't. But that's going to be an X on his scorecard. 4 behind now, and the 17th claims another victim. He's got to watch out because he's starting to get into that territory where he could cost himself a little bit of money there if he falls into a tie with Demmelmeyer and Lemons. So, okay, so Porter Davies got a birdie on the last hole, so he'll be first. Then Jeremiah James, and then Mackay Berry, who is somehow still in contention here. All right, so Porter Davies at the 16th, last par 5. Big bunker down the left. Only one course control element there, and it's going to be the golfer. 1, 3, 4. That should give him a moderate putt for birdie, unless he's got a sneaky trait. Is he duff or no? Is he champion? He is, so he will actually get a blue chip here on 16 for the gallery cheers. His second shot. And then a 4 is a utility. He is not utility, so he will have a moderate putt for birdie. So Porter Davies trying to go back-to-back here. Mackay Berry. Actually, it'll be James. James reminds him that he birdied the second to last hole, so get back there and wait your turn, bud. Well, that's leaning. We're going to just move that a little bit. There we go. Let gravity take its course. So that's a 4, so it'll still be 1, 2, 2. So this should be another one that, let's see, duffer for James. He's not a duffer. Utility, no. He's also not a hacker, so he's going to end up with a moderate putt for birdie as well. He's got a blue chip to use on that. Now, Mackay Berry, he's got a bunch of chips. He'd love to get the same roll as the other guys, but knowing the way his luck has been today, don't bet on it. And there you go, 5. It's going to be course controlled. 34. Well, it's going to, at least going to be golf cam course on a cordial hole, so he will avoid any major catastrophes here. So par 5, 4. Is it daunting? It's not. He's going to need a clutch putt for birdie, and he is gold, so he has a very much an excess of blue chips, and he probably won't be able to use them all, especially if he makes this putt. So, okay, so we've got Porter Davies. He's got a blue chip. He will use it. Make it easy. Jeremiah James will also, he wants to try and get a share of this lead. So, Porter Davies needs a 1-4, and it's a 6. He misses it, so he's going to have a gimme. We will roll off the gimme. He's going to tap it in. Should have rolled 3, but he didn't need it anyway. So that was Porter Davies with a disappointing par. Okay, so the crowd goes silent here. Time for Jeremiah James. See if he can pull even with Dustin Jimenez. Big putt here for him. Needs a 1-4. And it's in the hole. A 4 jumps out of the basket, but it's in. So Jeremiah James takes a share of the lead with 2 holes to play. And now a little bit of business left here. Clutch birdie putt for Mackay Berry. 1-5. He's gold. And he makes it. So birdie for him. He earns another blue chip. And he's going to have so many he can't use them. But he will end up 5 back after this hole. So in that tie with Demmelmeyer, with as many blue chips as he has, he might be able to... maybe he can squeak up there and pip Mulkers and try to take a little bit of his money here. So back to 18. We've got 6 golfers left on the course. And at 18, it will be Jimenez, Mulkers, and Lemons. So let's see. We've got Jimenez, and then Lemons, and then Mulkers. Okay. Dustin Jimenez on the 18th here. He's got a blue chip. He's got to decide whether to use it to avoid the water. If he uses the blue chip, he could take control of this himself. And he will. He's going to prevent himself from improving a birdie putt, but instead he wants to give himself control. So we'll sit down the white die as a 1. Wants to avoid the water. A par is probably decent. At the very least, it gives him a playoff. 3, 5, 6 on a par 4. See what it does for Jimenez here. 3, 5, 6. Scatter or puny. He is puny. He's going to... Well, because he spent a red chip, he can't earn a red chip, but it's going to be the gallery groans. Oh, he just comes out of it a little bit. Now, a 3 on the green die. Is he a master? He's not. Well, he's going to have a moderate putt for par. It could have been a lot worse. So, playing a little bit conservative here. And, all right, so Sonny Lemons. Let's see. Wait, hold on a second. So, master, no. Strong follow-up. Might have shot back to... Okay, so it's not... We can't do another putt there. So, it does have to be a moderate putt for par. So, Lemons. And it's going to be 35. So, that's golf cam course for him. Neutral hole with a 3, par 4. Is it cordial? No. Daunting? No. He'll need a clutch putt for par to maintain that share of 4th place, excuse me. So, yellow die, clutch putt for par. And now, John Mulkers, 18th hole, no blue chips. Also a 3, that's going to be 25. He'll also have golf cam course. 5, is it daunting or is he scattered? He's not scattered. It's not daunting, so he will have a clutch putt for a birdie. So he may put a little distance there between himself and Lemons and Berry and Demmelmeyer. So Really, Barry is the one that's the only one that's really threatening here. So, what do we go with first? We go with Dustin Jimenez with his moderate par putt. He needs a 1 to 5 here. No blue chips. Wants to close it out and post that minus 13 score. And it's in the hole. Dustin Jimenez with a 1 under 35 on the back. That's a 67. And that's a 275, minus 11, or no, minus 13 for the tournament. And he is your clubhouse leader with only that last group to play that has any chance of catching him. So we'll put Jimenez right up here. And now we've got, we're going to go with Mulkers first with the clutch birdie putt. He is 1 to 3. He would have a meltdown here. Wait, you can use your red chip if you earn one here. So he needs a 1 to 3. He makes it, so he gets a blue chip, but doesn't really get a chance to use it. Pars, or no, he birdies. That's a birdie in the hole, so he will finish the day at minus 10. Let's see. Let's double check here. So a 35 on the front, on the back as well. 69, a good final round for him. Mulkers. That's a 278 minus 10. And then there's just this little bit of business about Sonny Lemons. So Sonny Lemons with a clutch par putt. He does not have any blue chips, so he's a 1 to 2 with the semi-rust. And he misses it. Earns a red chip. That's going to leave him with an easy bogey. He's going to have to use the red chip to make moderate. I play the rule as you can go ahead and... So a 1 to 5 for Lemons now, and he'll make that. I play the rule that on the final hole, if you earn a red chip, you can use it. No other hole can you do that. So he ends up at minus 7. Let's double check. So that's an even par back, 936. 72 even par on the whole round. Lemons, that's going to be 281 minus 7. Yep, math works out. Okay, so we have the 17th hole. We've got Jeremiah James and these other two jokers 6 back of him. And so it's going to be Jeremiah James first, then Mackay Berry, and then Porter Davies. So 17th hole. Jeremiah James doesn't have any blue chips left. He can't afford to lose this one. He does have semi-champion that could bail him out on a couple of these rolls here that have water. We'll see what happens here. It's a 2, so no water. It's going to be off of his card, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Miscalculated swing. Sends the ball past the green. Wedged onto green. Difficult putt for par. Well, that's a turn. 1 to 3, and he doesn't have any blue chips. Okay, well, he avoided the big trouble. But, all right, so Mackay Berry... He will use a blue chip to take control of this himself. Actually, he changed his mind. He's going to give... See, what's he going to do? He is going to... He's not going to use a blue chip. He's just going to let it roll out. Because I don't think... There's no side of the green that favors missing the water. And his irons are not good, so giving him self-control is probably not a great option either. He's going to get control anyway. 2, 4, 5 is a utility, and it's going to be a short game check. So this is why he didn't want control. 4, is he stone? He isn't stone, so he'll have an easy putt for par. So that's not the worst thing in the world. Okay. here on 17. And so Porter Davies, what's he going to do? He's kind of just playing this out here in a 5-26, and that's going to find the green, golf cam green, and a 2. Is it friendly? No. Challenging? No. It's going to be an easy putt for par for him as well. So we do this. So, okay, well, here is where the nuts and bolts lie here. We've got Jeremiah James with a difficult putt for par. Let me see something here. What did it say? Yeah, because it was a chip, so there's nothing you can do here. 1-3, he will head to 18 with a share to lead. Otherwise, he will need a birdie on 18 to re-tie it up. 1-3, can he get it? It's in the hole. A great putt from Jeremiah James, and he keeps it together just barely. All right, Mackay Berry. He's got chips that he can't use. He might as well go ahead and make it a gimme. So that's a triple six miss, and he makes it. So, and then that will leave Porter Davies. James is trying to, or Barry is trying to sell Davies his blue chips, and the marshal's coming over and saying that that's not legal, but he makes it anyway. Davies is like, I can make this putt anyway. Why am I going to be giving that to you? So everybody pars. We're going to 18. Final hole. Are we going to have a playoff? We've had some playoffs here already on both tours, and we have the potential for one here. Same order. James, Mackay Berry, Porter Davies. Right? That's right. Okay, so 18th hole, Jeremiah James doesn't have any chips, and we'll see what happens here. There's still water on this hole. Can he find his way to a birdie? That would be optimal for him. And it's going to be off of his card, 1-2-6, par 4. So he avoids all of the course control on both of these holes. 1-2-6 for Jeremiah James. Direct green, no. Is he stone? He is not. He is soft. So we go to mood. Jeremiah James is stormy and a 2. He's going to avoid the stormy part. But I think he's going to have to make a putt for par instead. So par 4, a 2 on the green. Is he sunny? No. He's going to have a difficult putt for... Hey, he's got a chance. He's going to have a chance. It needs a 1 to win it. So let's get the other two guys up to the green. So it'll be good old Mackay. He's going to take control of this hole himself. He doesn't care. Throws caution to the wind. There's a lot of water out there. 1-2-2. We'll see how that fares for him here on the par 4. Is he a duffer? He's not. Is he a hacker? No. Is he going to have a moderate putt for birdie? So Mackay Berry, and he can improve that by 1. And so now it'll be Porter Davies. Is anybody going to find water here? How about it? Anybody going to find water? It's 23. Oh, that's in the sand. So no water here this time. The 4 means it's course control, and the 23 means sand with the second shot. So he's going to have to get up and down here with a 1. Is he chunky? Porter Davies is not. So he's going to have a pin shot. Can he get back and tie Bob Demelmeyer? If he can roll a 1 here, he's got a chance. No, it's not going to be. It's going to be a difficult par putt. So he will go underneath Jeremiah James. Oh, that's difficult par. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're going to do things a little out of order this time, because we're going to let James see if he can roll this one in to end it. So you've got Barry, who can use a blue chip to make it 1-4. So he will be second to last, you're going to have Porter Davies with his 1-3 difficult par. It's a 5, so he misses that. Now a moderate bogey. Needs to avoid a 6 here. And he does, but a bogey here for Porter Davies. He will finish the back 9 at 2 over 38. 75 on his round. Pretty abysmal round. That's a 282. Finishes at -6. Okay. So that's 1 done. Now we're going to do Mackay Berry. Can he get back into that 2-way tie for 4th with Bob Demelmeyer? Needs a 1-4. It's in the hole. Mackay Berry finally gets it done. Winner of the previous tournament at Big Easy Golf Club down there in New Orleans. And so we are just about there. We may have a 2-way playoff, but what do we got here? We've got Jeremiah James. Needs a 1. We're going to shake him up. If he can roll a 1 here in the hole, he will win the 2018 Coachella Open here in sunny Southern California. Can he get a 1? Oh! About as far away from a 1 as you can get. So now, as long as he can make a moderate par putt, he needs to avoid that same 6. There will be a playoff. He taps it. And it's missed! Oh, no! He blows up on the last hole, and it's going to be an easy... He taps this one in. Oh, my word. Jeremiah James with a bogey on the final hole. No playoff. Dustin Jimenez wins the 2018 Coachella Open. Watching from the scoring 10 as he's signing his card, and James, he just sees James blow a gasket on the last hole. It falls apart. And Jimenez just cannot believe his eyes. What a finish. A 6. He needed a 1. All he needed was a 1 on that difficult birdie, and he couldn't quite. He gave it a good run, ran it by a little bit, and the comebacker, he just, you get in that pressure, and it's really tough to perform. Those nerves just make everything kind of seize up a little bit. You get a little tense. You get a little. Your stroke kind of goes into the zone where you're just gonna not hit it so well, and that's exactly what he did. So, Dustin Jimenez, he is your winner of the Slacker Tour 2018 Coachella Open here at Golf City Stadium course, La Quinta, California. What a final round. It looked like it was going to be a 2-man playoff. James knocked it within 10 feet, but then the tricky greens here got the best of him. And so that's it. So Bob Demelmeyer, he will, and Mackay Berry, they're going to solidify their place on the money list here 4 tournaments into this campaign. We are, I believe this is a, this is a 15 tournament tour, and we're 4 in. What we've done here a little bit was alternate dates. So that way some of these guys can get a chance to qualify on the main tour, but I think we're still going to do that, but there's also, I don't know, I have to figure out how best to do it in a way to simulate real life, because when the tours are running tournaments on the same day, you can get to a Monday qualifier, but it's kind of tough to expect these guys to spend a lot of money flying halfway across the country to then play in a Slacker Tour event. So we're going to have to figure out how best to intertwine these things. The money list heading into this tournament, trying to get it up here so I can tell you where. So Mackay Berry was 3rd, Demelmeyer was 1st. So they're going to basically continue to Mackay Berry will probably jump over Luciano Ware, who missed the cut. Your winner, Dustin Jimenez, he was in 5th place, so he gets his first victory, and he is climbing the money list. So here are some things to keep in mind. We have the top 25 from this will join the Tenacious Golf Tour after it's all over. I haven't really broadcast much about this tour. So that will include the finals. The top 125 will on the TGT will retain their cards. And what you're going to see is you'll see everybody outside of that top 125 will make up the next Slacker Tour. And the guys that, we'll have, I have to look and see what my numbers are as far as how far down the Slacker Tour list we will go before we have to make a cutoff and say those guys are not. It might be a total of 110. We'll see. So everybody from 26 down to 110 plus adding in, let's say, 126 through 150 from the Tenacious Tour. Then that would make up the next one. So that's kind of how we're doing it here. Also, another stipulation would be if anybody wins 3 tour events on this tour, they automatically get their tour card on the TGT. That mirrors real life. If anybody wins 3 tournaments on the what used to be the Nike Tour, the Web.com Tour now, that's what happens. So, Dustin Jimenez, I did have another comment here. I hope I didn't mess something up. Clinton Parks. Didn't know I had a second. I finished it up today. I got it started like right after got done with the one yesterday. I was like, I want to get because this is sort of the next one in the list, and then that will take us to, I believe, another tournament. Well, actually, let me bring it up here, Clinton. Let me bring up my schedule for the. No, wait, here. I'll bring up the Tenacious Tour schedule. My bandwidth is taking a little bit of a moment here to refresh. Okay, the next one is the Colonial Challenge. That will be at Colonial Country Club. It's actually called Texas Provincial in this, but that will be our next Tenacious Tour event. And so what was I going to say here? Well, I kind of boogered this up because I exited out of what I was in before. So I was in my main spreadsheet for the Slacker Tour. I'll bring that back up again. I think this is when the tours start to sort of coincide some. So the Slacker Tour event, the next event for that is a week from this. It's going to be at Napa Valley, the Wine Country Classic. So, that will. So I'm going to have to make some decisions here before I do my next tournaments. How I'm going to come up with my qualifiers. If I'm just going to run an algorithm to sort of split them in half. If I'm just going to, some of these guys would probably like to play, but see, the other thing is that if you miss a tournament here, you potentially cost yourself a chance at moving to the Tenacious Golf Tour where there's bigger money. The top 25 are going to get their cards here. And so once they do that, then, so if you're, in that anywhere from 10 down to, who knows, 100 at this point. Do you really want to, make it tough for yourself to, because even if you qualify for a Tenacious event, the chances of you actually cashing in that are, you're one of 156 and only like 70 to 80 make the cut, and the cut line is where the money comes in. So, I have to decide what would be most like real life. And so I may start incorporating some of the other cards that I have. Of course, what I'll then have to do is pull in a bunch of other data that I haven't uploaded into the spreadsheets yet, and that expansion is tough. So I have to decide how I'm going to handle all that. But once you do it, then it's not a big deal. But until then, it does take up a little bit of time. So anyway, that's sort of like an after. This is sort of an after party, isn't it? So I'll mention that today was Tabletop Earl's APBA tournament out in the Oklahoma area. So I hope that went well for him. I don't know if anybody's watching. So, Chris, how do I figure out my points? I try to use the same algorithm, for points that the PGA Tour does. I located that somewhere back in the past, and when I started this, and I just I try to do it in the same way. So and so majors are worth more points. Majors are worth more money, and I believe that the end of year playoff will probably be worth more points, but I have to confirm that. So I try to mirror real life. So you should win this. Yeah, you are. Colonial Texas' version of the old Congressional, the real long course across excellent hitting and accurate shots. Yeah, so we also have, we do have Congressional in this set too, and I don't recall if I have Congressional on this. I think I do. I think it's the Beltway Challenge, maybe. It might even be in the Tenacious playoffs. That may be one of the playoff tournaments. I can show you the schedule here once it comes up. So, I don't want to dump my blue chips or red chips all over the place, but let's tilt it here. Sorry about my finger. Let's try and do this in a way that I don't have my phone falling all over the place. So we are right in the Tenacious Tour. We are right here. Lone Star Open just completed. Colonial Challenge. How about if I zoom in a little bit more here? So then after that will be what is quote unquote the TPC, the Sawgrass Championship. An iconic course, lots of water. 17th hole there is I'll use the word iconic again. That's exactly what is an iconic hole in American golf. Probably typifies American golf in a way. Target style golf on that course. So then they go out to Florida and then they come back to Texas for the Four Seasons Open at the Four Seasons Resort. So I'm telling you what the real names are of these courses because it may help some if you follow the PGA Tour. Blues Belt Classic then. Then we've got the American Open, and I'm waiting for next week because I think there's going to be an announcement in one of Keith Avalon's. He does a monthly update, and I think he's going to announce what courses will be in the course pack 13. If we can get now, the trouble is I don't think he likes to do. He doesn't do a whole lot of international courses mixed in with domestic. But even if we could get those two courses, Shinnecock Hills and Bellerive, that would be awesome because I'm starting to get down towards that, and so I was somewhat hoping that those would be in course pack 12, and in fact they weren't. That was more of an international blend. I think Glen Abbey from Canada is in it. I think the Mexican, no, not Mexican course. It's in the Bahamas, I think. It's the one that Tiger Woods holds his tournament at, the Hero World Challenge. That course, and then there might be another course or two in like Great Britain. I can't remember, but so we can get those. Then we go to the Connecticut International. So I'm thinking of, I'm gonna have to come up with a whole different spreadsheet for that because I'm thinking of implementing the modified Stableford scoring system for this. I really loved the old International, which was at Castle Pines. I'm trying to mimic real life in trying not to go too far out off the beaten path. But part of me would love to, in the next iteration of this, make this, again, the International and move it back to Castle Pines, because that was such a... I mean, that closing hole is so neat, and you've got these 600-yard holes that you can drive, or you get on in two. It's just it was an iconic, and the Stableford scoring system was awesome for that tournament, because you had such an opportunity for eagles, and it was just like this risk reward format, and it feels like that course was just a great opportunity to display that, because you could just reach these humongous par fives in two with hardly any problem. Appalachian Hootenanny, that's at Greenbrier. Obviously, the Open Championship, trying to use fictitious names here. Of course, I'm mentioning the names, and so that's kind of defeating the purpose, but oh well. And then we've got 2 tournaments. So it's a condensed schedule a bit. A lot of times there's like 3 or 4 tournaments between the summer majors, but in order to condense this down, I didn't have enough courses to begin with, so I was kind of trying to plan for the courses I was getting, but also make it not commit too hard into things that I didn't have. So Firestone, we'll do the Firestone tournament, Tire Town Invitational, then the Carolina Open at Quail Hollow. Should be interesting. That was a major tournament course a year or 2 ago. And then we've got the PGA Championship at Belle Reve, Tenacious Pro Showcase. Trying to come up with names is fun, right? So then, right after that, we start the playoffs. So then we've got the Colorado Playoff Classic at Country Club at Mile High. So you know what? This is Cherry Hills. This isn't Castle Pines. I guess we couldn't move it to Castle Pines because Castle Pines isn't a course in the... I don't believe it is in the arsenal of play courses available. But then you go to New England for the New England Playoff Classic, then the Potomac Playoff Classic. I called it Beltway, but I think maybe that's the Slacker Tour event. And then we finish off at East Lake, just like the PGA Tour, for the big dog, the final go around for these guys. So, and for the Tenacious Tour, I guess I could do a quick finishing up here, showing you the current standings. So Trent McAdams, he's had 6 top 10s, 1 win, and I think because maybe that win was the Masters. Was it the Masters? No, Yun Lee Song was the Masters. What did McAdams win? Innisbrook, but he might have finished so high at the Masters that he got a bunch of money. So he is first. Then you've got Gareth Leonard, Yun Lee Song. Those guys have all won tournaments. And then you got Dustin Emmerich, who's just been consistent, but not strong enough on the day of the tournament to be able to actually raise the trophy. But instead, he's finished in the top 10 5 times. $2 million. Gil Granbury, Carson Riddell, Enrique Magallanes, Greer Copeland, Will Janis. He was a qualifier who won a tournament and earned his tour card because of that. So he's exempt for, I think, 3 years. Myung Cho. Did he? No, I guess he didn't win. Maybe I'm thinking of Nishiki Kawahara. But Myung Cho's been around there. No victories for him. So, John Westinghouse, he won the Lone Star Classic. He's 14th. So, that's about as far as I'm going to go. I will say Emmerich is leading the scoring race. And pretty much the points are similar. So okay, let me go back to my page that has the chat so I can see if there's any more. Here, I will turn this there. That's about it. No more chat messages. So if you had any other questions, you could always leave a comment in the video after it gets done doing its final uploads. But it's no, it's a really fun game. It has its it's you're never going to have a perfect simulation, but this does a pretty decent job. You've got to simulate most of the tournament because you just don't have the time to be able to. I mean, you could, if you were retired, you might have the time to do it, but for the most part, it's tough if you are a guy like me who is still employed and just has so much time. It's really nice to be able to click through through a series of tournaments. I mean, I've done 2 here in the last 5 days. Be able to just keep going and be able to complete a project in a reasonable amount of time. So anyway, thank you to those of you who have tuned in live here. Thanks to those who are loyal watchers, viewers, whatever you want to call it. Give me a second here. I'm going to flip this. Whoa. There. How's that? A little better? Yeah, so I want to thank everybody who has been a follower of my projects, whether it's baseball, whether it's golf, whether I would like to get a project started with football. I have some very vague ideas around. I'll announce it here about the friends of the channel cards that I've made. So I'm hoping maybe next week to be able to start revealing some of that. So really appreciate everybody who does bring their best here, comments, provide support to both Earl and I. We've been very blessed to be able to be a couple guys who enjoy gaming and who from the comments I've had have helped bring some people some joy by helping them find these games, maybe find them again after several years, whether it's finding them for the first time. For me, it's relaxation. I mean, it's a hobby, but it's my own world. Sometimes we need to escape what's really happening in this world, and we need to find something that we can control. And that's what's great about these things, is that we have complete control. Not complete control. The dice have a lot of control, but we're able to create leagues, systems. We can homebrew a lag rule if we want it. We can decide we're going to do different things different ways. We can create a baseball league that contains 10 teams, and you just play each team 6 times, 3 home, 3 away. I mean, that was kind of my vision of the Tenacious League, and it was pretty successful as far as I'm concerned. So we'll keep going. I'll keep showing videos. I may do a little bit more like this. Maybe I definitely am going to show some of the. I like doing how-to stuff, and I feel like just playing them off is somewhat how-to. People see how I do it, and maybe they take some of those ideas. An actual how-to, it's a little bit tough to just do that, because there isn't as much perspective as if you actually have a tournament going on and then you're seeing exactly what I'm doing to complete the project that I plan to complete, instead of just some scenario that I'm not going to complete, and that frankly, I may not have. I have the vested interest of wanting this to be right, and so when I do the cut round stuff, I'm doing it in a way that I want to have it done for the sake of my simulation. I want it to be right, and so you're getting to see it that way, and I'm hoping that in that process you see the way that it should be done as far as I'm concerned, and maybe it can be done other ways, but example is often the best way to see it. So and to see it, to demonstrate it, set an example. So and yeah, that's about it. So and I don't take this for granted, and I know Tabletop Earl doesn't either. We are, like I said before, we're blessed that we're able to be two of the guys that help spur this on, and just a myriad of people who do, so check out those other channels. I tend to like videos from other channels. Shows up on my Twitter. It shows up probably on my Tenacious Strat account. So I try to do that as much as I can. Doesn't always happen, but just get some ideas, have some fun. That's what we're about, and that's what we're going to do. And that's the Phillies series was not always the most fun. I'm going to try avoiding a lot of those types of things from now on. Try and keep it light. It might be intense as far as like number of games, but you can only do so much. You just have to make it work. Keep it happy. Keep it simple. And anyway, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching. Dustin Jimenez wins his first Slacker Tour event. He is looking like a shoo-in for the TGT Tour for the 2019 season. For Tabletop Earl, this is Tenacious Earl, thanking you for watching the Tabletop Baseball Plus channel. We'll be back with some more simulations, some more tabletop sports in the near future. Until then, everybody have a great rest of the weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow is daylight savings time starting, so you're going to have to turn your clocks ahead. Lose an hour of sleep. That's the way it goes. So thanks a lot, everybody, and God bless. Appreciate you guys, and thanks a lot.